17th of April, 1:41 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. And now we're back here in this fucking courtroom. Oh, God. God damn it.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Regina Lestrade. Lord Van Six, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem. Yeah, how convenient. Or maybe he's just running away, if you ever think about that.
I say. Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Greggson's praises of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Well, who had the... Let's be real here. Is it really his fault, or who really had this? Who really had this? Like, come on. It was Barry Von Zig that had it for a while, so he could have observed that. But no, he was like, I know the Scotland Yard. They're precise. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm getting tired. Yeah, just ate, I guess. Like, they know what they're doing, I guess. And I don't know why I'm so tired, but that's why I didn't check it, because I was yawning, I guess. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord.
And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene make for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A big, very big mistake. Okay, calm down, little girl. My lord! The subpoena witness has just arrived in the building. Oh, wait, did it not? You're like, oh, I thought it was getting delayed. Now they're here? What?
Thank you, officer. Officer, show him to stand without delay.
Mr. Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. And certainly not like this. Yeah, I did not think I was gonna see him anytime soon either. Look at him. So sassy as hell right now.
Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena after such a short notice, sir.
But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of the London Society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the call record.
Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer. Ah, so you do have a name. And now it makes sense. Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station. Stop. Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about. You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume. Yes, I was. Something to do with the murder that took place at the pawnbrokers on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. Correct. That is the accusation, indeed. This is really beyond a joke, you know. Why would it be a joke?
Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Gordon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Ooh! Ow! Yes! Gladly, my lord. Gladly. The way he just stands. I don't know. You just see him so serious, but then he breaks a move. You're like, yeah, he's not serious at all. The accusation. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of the pawnbrokery services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting that I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? I have no intention to admitting of such an outrageous accusation. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene, did the Scotland Yard tell you about that? Some Sarah March detectives' homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Okay, I guess he has been told that, I guess.
So, you deny the accusation completely, do you?
I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest record court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective toy. It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Obviously, I wouldn't want the jury to be here, but oh well. Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today. Oh, by golly! How long am I expected to be detained here?
Following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established. You will be free to leave immediately.
Ah, good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least.
It does not hold up, Mr. Corridon. And any longer than necessary, counsel, proceed with this cross-examination.
So, we meet again, Mr. Eggert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon? Ooh. My apologies. You are... Don't you even with us! Because if you've forgotten already, the guy next to you was also there and saw you. And we have fucking photographic evidence. Oh, we don't have that anymore. But we have it, regardless, that you were there that day when you pointed that gun at us. Don't even. 2 days ago, Ryunosuke Naruhito, defense lawyer. We have met. And dancing, if you say so. Ashley Graydon. Enchanté. So. I thought it was a gentleman that gets to introduce first. Why? I trust we can conclude this quickly. But why am I not but I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. Yeah, why did he give you your hat? What the fuck? Why did he give you a hat? It makes no sense. I'm like, here, you can have it. Wow, for like upstanding citizen, he doesn't really brush his hair, does he? Well, I should not. I'm not one to judge because I don't brush my hair either. So naturally, it's naturally curly, so I don't really need to brush it. So we even met. So yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. Come on, we're not gonna let you go. It was Mr. Eggert Benedict, I believe. The witness is here to testify about the events that took place that night. Okay. Well, let me guess, it's not relevant. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions. You can't be serious. Thank you, because I certainly do not feel too inclined to answer such an inappropriate question. And what's an inappropriate question? Why use your name? Like, why use a fake name? So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort not to give anything away. This could be tricky. But it could come in handy because look at these guys. They're looking at him. So maybe they're gonna mention something later on. So I have a feeling they will. They'd be like, but bruv, weren't you shot? Like that. But are you seriously suggesting? Yes, we are suggesting that. Have you seen these two men before? This pair? No, I have not. Yeah, he looks like... No, I don't associate it with criminals. Set up by a man who introduces himself as Eggert Benedict. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce. How dare you? Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Oh, wow. Racist, I see, too. Well, needless to say. Okay, so nothing good happened in that one. Because freaking Barry Von Zieg's always denies us, apparently. Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is the past of the hour at which I normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions. You're able to prove that. Are we able to prove? Yeah, we cannot prove that either way. Listen carefully, my little Nipponese friend. You appear to be under gross misapprehension on this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. Has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, where's your evidence? And I have my notifications on. I'm so sorry. The obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. Oh God. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. Victory dance, yes. Oh, great. A silent victory wiggle, thanks. Oh, yeah, apparently. Yes, I got away with it. It's like that. Alright, level them one more on this. Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has possibly identified the substance as such. But I am not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can he be so sure the blood was mine? We can't really do anything. It could equally be the blood of these two miscreants. Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate different... Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character anyway? Oh, I assumed the Londoners would know the name. He's a great, a renowned detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say, great detective. We've lived with them. That's why we can't. A great detective, you say? Now, where in the realm of fairy tales are we? And he's like, what the fuck? I knew it. I knew one of you was gonna expose them.
Excuse me.
Tell me, do you have something to say about them, Mr. Skulkin? What? Me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Alright, I've had it enough with you. I had it up to here with this. How many times have I gotta tell you? Yes, I know you're not big bro Sulky, I mean. Mr. Nash Skulkin. Hey, go over here, big owner. You what? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydons just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court? Huh? Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. I must have been him. You what? Mr. Naskulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing. Honest stuff, nothing. I was just thinking. If he waves his arm around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again. That's all. What wound? Well, he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worried about for him. And, Hells bells! Exactly. Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On an account of your injured arm. You can't really get away with this, can you? My lord?
Yes, Mr. Gordon?
I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet, hole in the wall, and that person was likely to be an upper arm was likely to hit in the upper arm of the thereabouts. Ooh. Perhaps you allowed a court official examine for your arm, sir. The left arm that you're certainly clasping with your right hand. as if in pain. I think Baron von Zieks is gonna say no. No, I refuse. Can you do that though? Actually, he can. We don't have the right. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. Ooh, I don't think the court likes this. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all of this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I had taken offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
You claim to have that you have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Wendigbake's pawnbrokery.
My lord, the defense would like the last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony.
Very well, Consul. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Ooh, you're kind of screwed now. Because now we have some statements. The bottom line is, I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery establishing where the man was killed. I mean...
Objection!
What the hell are you trying to hide right here? Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? Ooh, you're glaring at it. Why? Is this supposed to mean something? This disc was until the day of the murder in the pawn of Mr. Wendigbake's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon, however. Somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen the disc before in my life. It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc.
Oh yes, resulting from the observation of the thumb bumps.
That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb on the person who tried to take it off suffered minor lacerations. Sorry if I can't read it right, apparently. And also, I'm surprised Baron von Zieks hasn't said anything like, that does not prove anything, like that. Or objected to us right now. So, while the disc bears the remnants of the skirmish in the form of a smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Good gracious, indeed it must.
Mr. Graydon, that's twice. You don't want to show your arm, but you're willing to show your hand, right? Come on. And I know for certain you're wearing gloves right now, right? You refuse to allow the court to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt it bears a small scratch, consistent with the smear of blood on this disc. Ah. And there should be a hole in your gloves, right?
Well, it would seem I underestimated you. What? What is the meaning of this?
So you admit it now. You admit that you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant. And he's hiding his hand from behind his back.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon.
No, it would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. Not quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? Ooh, it's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of the pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about the disc now. As you wish. Really? Though I'm quite sure it was nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. Are you saying that's yours? Let's look at this. Right here, this is the overcoat, right? And this is a small box. Why is it in Mr. Gilded's personal belongings, sir? Can't believe he's lying to us again, I guess. I see.
There's a note on the disc saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken away by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
Okay. There's no reason at all?
Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you say, the famous London philanthropist. The man who perished in his very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder. Yes, my lord, the one and the same. Good lord, Mr. Graydon, are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted?
Ooh, where are you now?
Yes, that's correct.
He must be...
Ora! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear the name uttered here in my courtroom again.
According to Gina told us, the disc was placed in a pond on the fateful night 2 months ago. Yeah, that's so true. McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Mr. Winnie Banks. It's funny how Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belongs to him, then, isn't it? In all likelihood, he's lying. Exactly. So, he appeared in the afternoon at Windy Banks in order to get his hands on Mr. McGilded's disc for some reason. Why would he claim it's his, though? We don't know that for certain.
Counsel, you commence your cross-examination, please.
Alright, I'll try. The cross-examination. I like how Baravan Ziggs also gets his, like, you know, the little thing, like the little boom boom, like, you know, his eyes showing like he's about to cross-examine too, but he rarely does anything. And I just realized I got my health back. I got 5 stars again. Well, anyways, I guess I have 5 more mistakes. Now, would you care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you well observe, a communication officer such as myself commands a fine salary. You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir. So you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties of having misplaced my purse whilst on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claimed that was your overcoat.
Obviously, and in my haste, I clean forgot that the music box disc was in his pockets.
And yet, there is a note, and that reads, for McGilded.
I am a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city, and was interested in discover that he shared a penchant in that area. So, the disc in question, it's a pre-production sample. I promise to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn. Are you really gonna say that? Because there's blood on it. Come on. Are you really gonna... And you're gonna say it's you? That's your blood right there?
Yes, exactly.
Gina didn't mention anything about her in her testimony 2 months ago, did she? No, because Mr. McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply, it's going to expose Gina's perjury. Oh dear. This is complicated, isn't it? But I think her perjury. Well, let's face it. Her going to jail for murder? Possibly with the death penalty? Because I'm quite certain she's gonna receive capital punishment. Or going to jail for perjury, which is probably like, what, a month or two in jail? Probably worth it, not gonna lie. Let's leave for the time being. No. Let's go back here. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, the filthy goblin, on the day in question. I want to do this, but at the same time, I feel like we need to press more for this. Because, come on. So you're saying that Mr. Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag? That's right. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the suspicious areas, her kind frequents.
Objection.
Miss Lestrade did no such thing.
Well, of course you would take the stance, but the girl is a regular offender.
You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windy Banks. To get your hands on Mr. McGilden's disc.
Objection.
What the hell are you saying? My lad friend, it is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense?
With the prosecution. Consul, you will refrain the conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
It's really hard because we know the truth, because we were there. And apparently we can't use it as evidence or as proper testimony. Unless we get Mr. Sholmes to also verify as well, but I think it wouldn't really count too much as well. Yes, my lord.
Then I will continue with my testimony for what possible use it can be.
Alright. So this is, the redemption ticket was stolen from me by accused, the filthy gullering, on the day in question. The only, what we could do right here, I pressed it again. I should not press that. I'm so sorry. I'll be back.
Objection.
Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. But what I'm trying to say is that what we could do is present this. Because this is for the coat and this is for the box. He's saying that the coat was his and then was stolen and everything. But if we say it was his, do you think he's gonna like that there's blood on it? Not at all. And he's gonna be like, well, my finger was bleeding and everything. Well, that happened before. That happened after. This was here before when you got cut. So I don't know. I have no idea what to do here. I could press more on the evidence as we go through, but proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and reading my article.
Hold it.
Had you ever been to Winnie Banks before?
Only once, for the purposes of partying something. But like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments.
So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct?
That's right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such as the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. Not at all. Unless our great detective would tell us something. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it?
That's right. This was the very man. Apparently the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. Gilbert as evidence.
Oh, he has more things to say. Is something wrong, Inspector?
What do you mean?
The last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone. Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilda's possessions? I can tell you something like that, sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yes, exactly. Oh, sorry, sunshine. Yes, exactly. You should know all about that. Magnus McGilda, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital of his great contributions of the public life. Yet, he had a dark side, too. Where are you going with this, antiques? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they? That's enough! Coppers like me have duties to carry out that we're not at the liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have a great faith in you, Inspector. Ooh. The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's paw print first. Okay, never mind then. What's all this about? It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zeeks here. And apparently he doesn't like too much of the Chief of Justice, apparently, because he's like, I don't give a crap about it. I don't give a crap about him.
Well, it would appear that the Inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, my lord. Okay. We got that, a little information out of it. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the bottom shop. Okay, that same night. But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items. No, none at all. Oh? A valuer was brought in the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilda's disc. Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover this disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than as I keep saying, I simply have no reason to break in. No reason at all. So there was nothing of Mr. McGilda left in that shop that night. Nothing that this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true. You know, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his grumbled. Aw, me too, Iris. Me too. McGilda slipped a disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Wendy Banks. And then when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket. There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his purely white teeth. And meanwhile, my yellow teeth is telling the truth. The police were obviously after anything left behind McGilda as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day. But Gregson being very strange about all this. I don't think he can tell us, that's why. Well, which is understandable, he's doing his job. There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. Well, we know, if he's claiming, okay, let's believe him. Let's catch him in his own lie by continuing on with his lie, right? Since it says he has no reason why he would be there. But honestly, weren't you also looking for, I don't know, the box? This disc was deposited at Wendy Banks on Magnus McGilda's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself. Objection! Oh my god. How many times? Conjecture again. In any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night. I disagree, Baron Van Zix. I disagree. Sorry, my learned friend. But that's not true. What? Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Winnie Banks, as this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. Now then, there were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilded in Winnie Banks' pawnbrokery, and the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one, together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. Now we caught you.
This is a second ticket, is it?
What had the man deposited? The article description reads, 1 small box.
A rather vague description, it seems to me.
Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box? I believe you did. I believe you did. I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did. Exactly. This is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. That's true. That's a good point. Wait, actually, we haven't thought about that, huh?
Indeed, the witness makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, this great and fellow needed the box that very night, does it?
Objection!
Oh. Shut up, little girl! It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord.
Could you be a little less cryptic, my Lord Van Zix?
I do hate it when my learned friends argument, but I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Winnie Banks' pawnbrokery. And the rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. What?
Good gracious.
Inspector Gregson, show the photographic prints of the court, if you please. Yes, sir. What prints? These prints were taken from the detective's security cameras. Hurley's red-handed recorders again. They're like, we don't use trinkets like his. We'll never use it for court, but we'll use the photographic prints regardless, though. It may have been his, but it's still useful for us. As precisely explained using the plan of the shop layout. Okay. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter with which the Winnie Bank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed on sale once forfeited. Okay. According to the information on this ticket, the gilded small box has been forfeited already, 2 days before the incident at 9 p.m., 13th of April, to be precise, which means it would have been the shelves on forfeited items in shop front. Now then, Sunshine, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on 15th of April. Okay. That's one right there.
The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear.
On the next picture, let me see it.
And here we have another print.
2 a.m. 2 pictures. I wonder why we need it.
This one was taken about 2 hours later, after the incident. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare. Though I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold. The me, that's starting to make my head ache.
Obviously, the Scotland Yard could we consider theft as one possible motive in this case. we explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition of the victim's life.
So you men have already compared these two prints thoroughly, Inspector.
Yes, sir. But not only that, we also, looked around and everything, so. Okay. We continued every single item in each of these two photographic prints. And your conclusion is that exactly the same number of the prints are present in both. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. Ah! Damn it! For me dreaming too much, I don't believe it. If I could have just shown that he stole McGilda's pawn box. Victory. I might have been able to break him down at last. You know what, Reno? I've been thinking. I wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the same. You're right. What?
So, Consul, in the light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems that, in fact, that on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
I don't know. Could there be a hidden discrepancy in these two photographic prints somewhere? Let's use a piece of evidence. Before I give my answer, my lord, I would like to try something if I may.
Try something? What do you mean, Consul?
I'll need to use a certain piece of evidence from the court record to identify the discrepancy. And what evidence is that?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. Which piece of evidence do you intend to use to help you identify the discrepancy between the two prints?
Well, since there's two of them, might as well use this. I'd like to use this device, my lord, to view the two prints stereoscopically. Oh! Yes! You caught the bug at last! You can't resist it, can you? You got the cross-eye compulsion! The CEC! It's a disorder, but still, it's a good one either way. Juror number 3, what a surprise. Come on, Reno. Let's put the pictures in place and see what this wonderful contraption shows us. There we go. Now, look through the eyepiece. Okay, let it merge. Oh, we see the box. I wasn't sure at first, but there's a clear discrepancy between the two prints. What?
You must identify the location in question to the court, Consul.
Really? We're just kind of pointing it out?
Indicate the precise location of the discrepancy of which you speak.
Alright. Right there. Granted, these two prints are almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them. What? Yeah, you can see the music box moved a bit when you view the two pictures stereoscopically. And right there, we see it. A single area stands out as a being different. The location of this small box. Let me... Wait! Unbelievable! He's using that. It looks so funny. And then him.
My God, you're right. How extraordinary.
What this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilda's small box was indeed not stolen from Wendy Banks on the night in question. However, there could be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned to its place on the shelves.
Are you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilda isn't the fact?
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints. Objection! Mindless guesswork! What if it was? What do you mean? So our box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means, quite simply, that nothing has changed. That may be true, but alright, McGilded's box wasn't stolen then. But doesn't the fact it was moved like that change things? It changes everything. It does. I believe that changes everything about the case. How can that possibly be? The crucial point is the fact that what's moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box. What are you suggesting? He's getting quiet now. I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windy Banks as we speak. Objection. That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial.
The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Von Zix. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Breaker Street at once.
Ah, finally. The judge took our side.
Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further cross-examination.
Yep, we got that now. We got the box now. So hopefully we can get it soon enough. Wow, during the wait, we took a long, painful stare at Baron Von Zix as we clearly look at him, dead to the eye. And in the meanwhile, this guy's like, they got me. They fucking got me.
We shall have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth.
To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing.
Beg your pardon, Lord Von Zix.
This is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem. What are you suggesting to... What are you trying to say? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet, common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place. Exactly. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property. Now then. If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established he was an upstanding member of the society, his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend in his most insightful defense. The articles this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of the pockets and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me. Interesting.
You know, that does make rather a lot of sense.
If it's not the gold of jewels or something, though goodness knows whatever is in that box. You can't deposit it on broker, blah, 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 I don't care. I didn't read the whole thing, I was too slow.
The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling.
It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument. Oh shit. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have.
Well, counsel, if your argument in fact demonstrable, are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in tangible a way related to this case?
Okay, but let's say this. You say he's an upstanding citizen. Why is the police still investigating him? Well, shit. Can't really do anything. I'm sorry for moving the mic to him. What's the matter, Reno? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence. Yes, of course. And you and I both know that. We know Mr. McGilded's true character. And we know that this is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all of that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Mr. McGilded's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That defense's argument was flawed, based on the false information. Oh no! And that would mean admitting to Gina committing perjury. But Jeannie, could it be that Van Zieks knows? That's why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything? But maybe. This could be a great opportunity for us. Sorry? What do you mean for that, Iris? Well, what is it that you always say, Runo? Sooner or later the truth comes out. Every time. You're right about that. Alright. The exact significance of the thing is that Mr. McGilded deposited with Mr. Winnie Bank. It's something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her to the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What should we do? You're gonna ask me, what do you think you do? What's the right thing to do here? Leave it or have Gina testify? I don't want to chance it. I don't want to check what it is. Maybe one day I'll look it up. Or maybe one day I will come revisit this game and just, play this part. But otherwise, yeah, I am not gonna. Maybe, I don't know. I know I keep saying maybe in a bonus episode, but I know, knowing me, I probably won't. But I'm just gonna say, have Gina testify. And if anything, it's probably, if I did say leave it, there's no things like, oh, it's gonna make a mistake or whatever. It could mean, sometimes in these games, it could be like an automatic game over. Or, or the main characters ends up saying, no, we have to do this. Because it's the right thing to do. So, like, something like that. So, I'm gonna have Gina testify. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
What proposal, Consul?
While the court awaits for the arrival of Mr. McGilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand.
The defendant? To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Winnie Banks by Mr. McGilded, my lord. Miss Lestrade has information related to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all. Well, well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accuser's standing, and indeed your own. I have.
Lord Van Zieks, would you care to explain that last remark?
I will, but soon enough. The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself.
Oh. Very well, if you have no objection. So, the court will now hear the testimony of defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. The witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further noticed.
Ooh. Then I shall bid you good day. Wait! You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies. Ooh. As you wish. Alright then, Gina. It's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here. Good luck, Reno. Yeah, we're gonna need it for this testimony, too.